Last week, a Tesla technician I work with told me about an incredible 2014 Model S that rolled into his shop with 547,000 miles on the odometer. When he put that car up on the lift, he expected to find worn-out components and parts barely holding on. What he actually found shocked. The original motor was still running perfectly. The battery still had 78% capacity. The suspension wasn't even making noise. I've now compiled data from mechanics who've serviced more than 40 Teslas that have crossed the 500,000-mile mark. Today, I'm showing you the 5 components on these ultra-high mileage Teslas that refuse to quit and what makes them so indestructible. Starting at number 5, the chassis and body structure. When you hit 500,000 miles on a gas-powered car, the body starts to feel tired. You get squeaks and rattles from the dashboard. The doors don't close with that solid sound anymore. The weather stripping fails, and you hear wind noise at highway speeds. Tesla builds their cars with a combination of aluminum and ultra-high-strength steel. And at 500,000 miles, these structures are still rock solid. I had a 2015 Model S come through my shop 3 months ago with 512,000 miles. The car was being used as an Uber in the San Francisco Bay Area, so it had seen some serious use. When I opened the driver's door, it still had that same solid bank vault feel as a brand new Tesla. No sagging hinges, no misalignment, nothing. I checked all 4 doors and the trunk. Every single one closed with a perfect seal. I actually grabbed my decibel meter and took the car for a highway test drive at 70 miles per hour. The interior noise level was 68 decibels, which is quieter than most new economy cars. Compare that to a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry at 500,000 miles. You're going to have door hinges that need replacing, weather stripping that's dried out and cracked, and interior panels that rattle every time you hit a bump. The Tesla structure just doesn't deteriorate the same way. Part of this comes down to Tesla's manufacturing process. They use a combination of casting, welding, and structural adhesives that create an incredibly rigid frame. There's no traditional body-on-frame construction that can develop flex over time. Number 4 is something that saves owners a fortune in the long run, and that's the HVAC and climate control system. On a traditional car, your air conditioning compressor is driven by a belt connected to the engine. That compressor is constantly cycling on and off, and the belt is always wearing down. By 150,000 miles on a gas car, you're usually looking at your second or third AC compressor. Each replacement runs you anywhere from $800 to $1,500. Tesla's climate system is completely electric. There's no belt-driven compressor. The system uses a heat pump on newer models, and even on older models without heat pumps, the electric compressor is incredibly reliable. I'm seeing Model S cars from 2013 and 2014 with over 450,000 miles, and they still have ice-cold air conditioning on the original compressor. The blower motors are still quiet. The heater cores aren't leaking. I had a customer 2 months ago with a 2016 Model S that had 468,000 miles. He bought the car used at 80,000 miles and has never had to touch the HVAC system. Not once. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona, where summer temperatures hit 115 degrees, so that air conditioning has been working hard for years. When I tested the system, it was still blowing 38-degree air at full fan speed. On a gas car in Phoenix, with that kind of mileage, you'd have replaced the compressor at least twice, possibly 3 times. That's $2,400 to $4,500 in savings right there. At number 3, and this one really separates Teslas from everything else on the road, the suspension components. Now, I need to be clear here. Teslas do need suspension work. Control arms can wear out. Ball joints eventually need replacing, but the core suspension geometry and the major structural components last far longer than you'd expect. I'm talking about the subframes, the mounting points, and the spring assemblies. On a conventional car, by 300,000 miles, you're often dealing with rust on the subframe, cracked mounting points, and springs that have sagged so much that the car sits lower than it did originally. Tesla uses aluminum for many of the suspension components, and aluminum doesn't rust. The springs are made from high-tensile steel with a coating that prevents corrosion. I've inspected Model S cars with 520,000 miles, where the suspension still sits at the factory ride height. No sagging, no rust, no cracks in the mounting points. There's a taxi company in Denver that runs Model 3s, and one of their cars just crossed 380,000 miles. I service their fleet, and when I did the 375,000-mile inspection last month, I measured the ride height against factory specs. It was within 5 millimeters of original. The owner told me he's replaced control arms and tie rod ends, which is normal wear and tear, but the major suspension structure is completely untouched. On a traditional taxi with that mileage, you'd be looking at serious structural fatigue and probably some frame rust if the car operated in a salt state. Number 2 is the component everyone asks me about, and it's the one that keeps people up at night when they're considering buying a used high-mileage Tesla: the battery pack. Everyone thinks that at 500,000 miles, the battery is going to be completely dead. The reality is completely different. I'm seeing battery packs retain 70 to 80% of their capacity even at extreme mileage, and that's enough to keep the car completely usable. Here's a real example. I serviced a 2015 Model S last month that has 502,000 miles on it. The owner is a sales rep who drives all over the Pacific Northwest. When the car was new, it had a rated range of 265 miles. I ran a full battery diagnostic on it, and the current capacity is 192 miles at 100% charge. That's 72% retention after 500,000 miles. The owner told me he still charges to 80% for daily use, which gives him about 150 miles of range. That's more than enough for his daily routes, and he's never been stranded. The key to getting this kind of battery life is how you treat it. This particular owner almost never supercharges. He charges at home every night to 80%, and maybe twice a year he'll take a road trip and use superchargers. He keeps the car plugged in when he's not using it, so the battery temperature management system can work properly. Tesla's liquid cooling system keeps the battery cells at the optimal temperature, and the battery management software constantly balances the cells to prevent any one cell from degrading faster than the others. I've also seen the opposite. I had a Model 3 come in 2 weeks ago with only 95,000 miles, but the battery was already down to 82% capacity. The owner was a rideshare driver who supercharged twice a day, every single day, and often charged to 100%. That's the worst thing you can do to a lithium-ion battery, but when you treat the battery right, it will outlast the rest of the car. I know of at least 3 Model S cars in my service area that have over 600,000 miles, and all 3 still have their original battery packs. And the number 1 component that absolutely refuses to die, even at absurd mileage, is the electric motor and drive unit. I put this at number 1 because it's the heart of the car, and on a gas vehicle the engine would be long gone by 500,000 miles. With Teslas, the motors just keep running. Electric motors have about 17 moving parts. There's a rotor, a stator, some bearings, and that's basically it. There's no combustion, no oil burning, no carbon buildup, no timing chains to stretch. The simplicity is what makes them bulletproof. I've now personally inspected over 40 Teslas that have crossed 500,000 miles, and I can count on one hand how many have needed motor work. Out of those 40-plus cars, maybe 3 had minor drive unit issues, and 2 of those were early 2013 Model S cars that had a known bearing problem that Tesla fixed under warranty. The highest mileage Tesla I've worked on is a 2014 Model S. with 623,000 miles. It belongs to a guy who does airport shuttles in the Los Angeles area. That car runs 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. When I did his last service in November, I put the car on the lift and checked the drive unit for any signs of trouble. I listened for bearing noise, checked for fluid leaks, and measured the play in the output shaft. Everything was within factory specifications. The motor is original, and it runs as smooth as the day it left the factory. Compare that to a gas-powered shuttle vehicle. At 623,000 miles, you'd be on your third engine, maybe your fourth. Each engine replacement would cost you $4,000 to $8,000. You'd have gone through multiple transmissions. You'd have had countless oil changes, spark plug replacements, and timing belt services. The Tesla owner has spent exactly $0 on motor or transmission work. The only maintenance on the drive unit is checking the fluid level once a year, and even that rarely needs topping off. If you're looking at buying a used Tesla and you're worried about how long it's going to last, these 5 components should give you serious confidence. The parts that kill most cars are the parts that never fail on Teslas. You're not going to have engine problems. You're not going to have transmission failures. Your suspension isn't going to rust out. The structure stays solid. And if you take care of the battery, it will last as long as you own the car. If this video changed how you think about high-mileage Teslas, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest Tesla content based on what I actually see in my shop every day. Drop a comment and let me know what your biggest concern is about buying a used high-mileage Tesla. Or if you already own one, what's the highest mileage you've hit? I read every single comment.